Donna's also looking for people. So, sorry.
I'm trying some. So there's a couple options that at least I initially thought about. Here, hold on. Now mute this. I'm going to send you an email right now so that you can click on this link and we'll see what happens. Link. All right, now just be aware, I'm probably going to advise you to do something that I've not had anybody else do. So we'll see. So I just went live from Zoom to YouTube. There's probably a delay. Do you see me? There you go. Yeah, so there is a delay. So you'll have to take that into account. So I've got my video on right now and it still hasn't kicked over yet. So there is a delay. So yeah, so my video is on. There we go. So you're probably a 30-second delay. See there, I am talking to you.
60, it does show at the bottom too, started streaming 61 seconds ago.
Yeah, so you got to kind of keep that timing wise. I would hedge your bets and just tell people to get on early.
I did say that, and then it's 10:50.
Yeah. So
Could we also have it where we had a screen share going during that, like to get it up and running for that minute buffer time, and then have it so it would be there?
So this is streaming directly the meeting. So let me see if I can invite you. We're gonna see if we can break it. If you go to your open Zoom, you should have an invite. Yeah, there you go. So now you're joining my meeting. We'll see exactly how delayed it is. All right, so now we're both in the meeting. Let's see how long before you show up on the YouTube stream.
So it's just showing the entire Zoom screen.
We'll see. So then I could, let's see, participants.
Yeah, it's like a 10 second, not even, maybe like 5 second delay.
There.
That's just you joining.
So that's
So
you
it's almost
joining.
a full minute delay.
Yeah, I would say you're probably a minute delay. So now you have rights to share your screen like you're a presenter.
Okay. Find something to share.
Okay, you're sharing there. Now we're probably a minute delay. Just curious what the stream looks like when it's. So this is probably the more cleaner way to do it, but also the more complicated for the teacher.
Okay.
And since we're talking about 4 or 5 different teachers,
Yeah.
there we go. So there you go. There you are as presenter. I wonder if I change the view, if I go standard. So it's picking up, it's showing me up there. So wait, so they will be presenting on the board and they won't be sharing their screen, will they?
The Zoom kids, the virtual kids will have to share their screen.
So this is what it would look like if you're a virtual kid and you're
So it
streaming
would be
in.
like a little head. in the
Their
corner.
video would be like a little head.
Yeah.
Flipping between the two if you would just be
Yes. So there's a lot of,
I can see them. You
moving.
can, hold on.
yeah,
Is something
there
happening?
are.
What is-
There
Okay.
are a lot of parts to this. Now, that being said, if the teacher is the only one in the Zoom,
Mhm.
then the kids in here, you're not going to have the bouncing back and forth.
Right.
So the teacher would just kick the video over to the student that's presenting up there, and it'll be full screen because they won't be sharing a screen at that point.
Right. They'll be standing.
They'll be
there
standing in front of
the
it, probably
screen.
using that
Yeah.
camera, I would advise.
Okay.
to pick it up. The kids at home, so at that point, there's only one person in the Zoom meeting itself.
Because the kids at home are watching from the YouTube Live.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I would recommend.
Okay.
The less people you put in the mix, I think the better it'll be.
Okay, and then when it's their time to get on, then they just join the Zoom call?
Then they would have to join the Zoom call.
Okay,
Then you would make them a,
yeah,
still-
I think they're good in their time. They've been pretty good about their times. I put all my virtual kids at the end. Like when I put them in the thing, I put them all as a chunk at like the noon o'clock.
now at the end, if you all had them, you could have all the virtual kids come into the Zoom at the same time and have your settings set that they can't unmute themselves.
Okay,
So that you mute everybody as they
Yep.
come in. They cannot unmute themselves and they cannot share their screens. Then you manage by making them a co-host.
yep,
So I would go in here and I would go to participants and I would make, oh, I just went to chat. I would go over here more, make co-host. Now you're a co-host and have all the rights.
okay,
So then you could share your screen.
okay. So when it's like their turn to present, make them a co-host?
Yes.
Okay,
So there's a lot of moving parts here.
there are.
So right now, if anybody else jumped into this meeting that I'm hosting now, they will not be able to share their screen
Yeah, okay,
and they cannot unmute themselves either. So they're just waiting. And then as it's their turn, I would go up and say, withdraw co-host permission from Elizabeth and then make co-host Jonathan.
okay,
So that's one scenario. That way everybody is watching the YouTube live stream. The other scenario is running it all through Zoom, only having the Zoom link, muting everybody, taking away their ability to unmute themselves, and then do the co-host as they present. I don't think you're going to hit your limits of how many people. You could, but I'm with you. I don't think you're going to get everybody on at once.
great.
I don't think you'll hit your meeting limit.
So help me think through this. I don't want to be sitting here like letting people into Zoom.
So you would
I would have
open
to
it up
just
to
open
anybody.
it. Okay,
Make
then
it
it's
so
open to
nobody can
everybody.
share,
okay,
nobody can unmute
okay, unless they're co-hosts.
unless they're made a co-host.
Can you show me that again?
Yeah,
how I do
so
that? Okay.
you are, where are you?
So I go to settings.
So it's all done under the participant window.
Okay.
So click on participants.
Although this is not my Zoom.
Oh, yeah,
call.
it's not your Zoom.
Yeah, it's not
So
my Zoom
you
call.
would have to make your Zoom.
Okay.
Here, I can show you.
Okay.
So here we are in Zoom. You would pull up participants. And then you just go over here, more, withdraw, more, make co-host.
Okay.
So
How do I make it so that they can't unmute
So
or do anything?
that is under participants too. Let me get rid of chat here. More, allow users to unmute themselves.
Oh, okay.
Your screen share settings should be by default already set so nobody can share.
Okay.
So you leave it like that. And then just make sure allow participants to unmute themselves. You could go in and say mute all upon entry. So anytime anybody joins, they're muted.
Yeah.
And with that unchecked, they can't unmute themselves.
Okay.
So there's two schools of thought there.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna hit a limit. I think you
Okay.
have by default 300, I think,
Oh, wow.
limit. I
Oh,
think.
yeah, we would not hit our, yeah, we'll never.
I
hit
don't
that.
think you're gonna hit that. Let me just double check that.
Sure.
I guess
Only-
the one thing I don't love though is like all of them being able to see each other. Like all the guests being able to see each other.
Yeah, that would be a webinar, but we don't.
Right,
think
that's
we
what,
have
that's what I'm,
access to that.
like, because if I'm really like thinking about this though,
Mhm.
like if I'm just letting anybody into the Zoom call at any point, like who knows what's happening in their home.
Yes, that is a very valid point.
There's you can turn off the start video. If
Oh,
they
so
come
they
in
can't
with
have
video
everything.
on.
Yeah,
that.
that's more management. This is the whole reason why we started purchasing webinar accounts.
Yeah,
Is the district was running, school board
Yeah.
meetings and stuff. After one meeting of me managing the video and everything for
Yeah.
all the participants, I said, we can't do this.
yeah,
We got to pony up and do a webinar. The YouTube stream is probably your next best thing
yeah,
to it. The only concern I'm having now is the kids at home needing to watch from one. And then when it's their time, knowing to close the live stream and then going over to the Zoom to present.
yeah.
So is there a way, like in your view,
What if we had the kids at
multiple of
home?
us on there, because you can set up the view, like your view. can you set up a view that's only like your camera
Yeah, so
or that spotlights someone
so
so that no one else
right
shows up on
now,
this Zoom?
What if we had our at-home kids record themselves?
You're not presenting live. And we could just show the video. Does it work to show a video through Zoom?
maybe I've not tried that. So right now I just changed the view. So this is on speaker view, which again follows the audio. So you'll
So
see
if
here
you
in a
have it
minute, I
set to-
muted Elizabeth. So now I'm technically the speaker. So from this point on, it shouldn't change anymore.
If you had it set so that no one could unmute themselves, no matter who was in the Zoom, you could.
This,
have all
the
your
main
virtual
computer.
kids in with this view,
Yep.
and you would only see the speaker.
Oh, have our Zoom kids just sit on the Zoom all day?
Yeah, like that they would be on with us watching all of them too, but if it was in this view, it would only show the live of whoever the speaker is. Of
Because
that
they
time.
can't unmute themselves.
Right,
and
they
they
just have that
spotlight
set.
it as video.
Yeah, so you have, just with your basic account, 300 participants. So, I mean, that doesn't even matter if we do the YouTube, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with YouTube because I just don't know, I want all those guys on the call with us.
Right, so then if you do, or if we're in this mode, so that's currently your camera. Let's
Yes,
say we have to share the screen as the teacher, how do we share, how do we make it so that the screen is shared with their presentation, but you can still see them and hear them?
they would be the little box in the corner. So if I were to
So
go
it's
and
still on speaker
share,
view.
if I share this. So now I'm sharing my screen, we'll have to wait for the delay. What should happen, it's still on speaker view, I'm still talking, but then you're seeing my screen as opposed to just my big face. Yep. Which again, nobody's gonna know unless you're here.
Okay.
There's the screen share. So that's what it would look like if you're basically in this scenario, you've got one computer here in the classroom and everybody's just walking up in front of the board. I mean, we could set it up now fairly easily.
But yeah, I think that's. Okay, this seems like the best option. Is there a way to like get rid of chat or the chat has to be?
Great question. Oh my gosh, I got too many things going on here. Oh, like the YouTube chat.
YouTube chat.
I don't think it's on.
Oh, okay.
I don't see it. Oh no, it does look like it's on. Let me stop sharing screen. Top chat, I don't see how. Participants pop out chat. I don't. I'm sure it's a setting.
It would be a setting for YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be a YouTube setting.